Peace and welcome to another Urban Eden After Hours episode with your host, Taryn Lewis. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite ingredients to put into soaps. It is going to be clays. I guess it's not like one certain ingredient because there are so many different varieties of clays. I have 5 different soaps here that have 5 different clays in them. And then I also have 2 different clays here that we sell as regular clay packs. Now I love clay because it is full of minerals and vitamins, and they're so simple. Clay is something that is like one of the best things that Mother Earth offers to us. It's essentially dirt. It's dirt, but it's like soil and dirt that is packed with so many nutrients and minerals that help to detox the skin. They can also help to exfoliate the skin, and they just help to provide good nutrients to the skin. And so that's why we even sell it in its raw form like this. So Moroccan Red Clay is one of my favorites just because it reminds me of the earth. Even on our skin tone color, on melanated skin, you definitely get like earthy vibes, and I love all things earth. And so the Moroccan Red Clay, I know most of us know about like Georgia Red Clay, the deepness and the thickness of it, and most of the times we don't like it in our soil because it's thickly compacted and very tough to work with, but it's so full of nutrients. If you actually break it down and allow it to be into the soil, it'll provide plenty of nutrients to the soil. And it also does the same for our face. Not just only our face, but any ailments that you might be dealing with on your body, you can put a clay pack over that ailment. If it's a bruise, or if it's a bone or anything like that, a bruised bone or anything, you could use a clay pack because clay is so strong. Putting it on our skin, it'll pretty much just draw out toxins. It draws out toxins, and at the same time, it gives our skin a nice rejuvenating bath. Essentially, it naturally cleanses. It has natural cleansing properties. And so we have the bentonite clay, which is something that's well-rounded as well. And most clays are going to do the same thing. They all detox, but the difference that they might have is that they're different colors, that they come from different places, and some of them might provide different minerals that others don't. But for the most part, they're all going to give you good minerals and detox the skin. Now, the 5 soaps that we have the clays in, so we have the rosewater, kefir, and lavender soap that has rose clay in there. So rose clay is what gives this soap its vibrant pink color. And then it's also going to be good. We like to call this the yoni soap, so it helps to draw out toxins, even on the skin, but mainly if you're going to use it as a yoni soap, it helps to draw out toxins in the yoni area. Next, we have the Grapefruit Himalayan pink salt, which also has bentonite clay in there. And bentonite clay, like I said before, is just something that's a very well-rounded clay. I like to also recommend to use this for the face as well because it can help to draw out impurities from the face, and it helps to help with scarring. So bentonite clay is one that's very well known to help with like detoxing your underarms. It's one of the most potent clays for detoxing. So this one, and is very well rounded for most skin types. The next one is our coconut and kale and clay. Kale and clay mainly is known to come out of Georgia, and it's a white clay that is very good for sensitive skin types. So that's why we put it into our coconut soap, because this one we consider to be our sensitive skin soap, and we just decided to use kale and clay because it gives it that nice creamy texture, and then it's also going to be gentle enough for the skin. So we put clays into all of the soaps because of their creamy texture that they add and for those detoxing properties. Next, we have a 420 citrus hemp soap, which is going to have Moroccan Red Clay in there. This one, I think the Moroccan Red Clay, honestly, some of my favorite soaps have clays in them. I'm torn between the rose water and the 420, but the 420, like the creaminess of this soap is just ridiculous. And I know that it is all due to the Moroccan Red Clay. Even when I'm mixing the Moroccan Red Clay in there, just the way that the soap batter just turns this like silky, smooth texture is just so enamoring. So this is definitely one of my top favorites. And like I said, I just love the way Moroccan Red Clay looks on our skin, and it just always gives me earthy vibes. Next, I have our cedarwood and sea clay. So it's in the name. It's from the sea. It's clay from the sea. Really good for drawing out properties. And so all the clays are really good to use as cleansers. They're really good to use for the majority of skin types to help to just draw out those impurities and to also gently exfoliate the skin. So that's one of my favorite things too, is that when you're wiping it off, the clay becomes very dry. And so when you're wiping it off or using like a washcloth or anything, you kind of get this like gentle exfoliation, because at the end of the day, it's minerals. So there's going to be like little forms of like rocks and vitamins and a little bit of like, you know, just that soil texture that we're used to. And so that's why I really love clays. I think that they're very valuable. Like I said before, you could put them on any parts of your body, but one of the best ways to use them is as a face mask. All you have to do is mix it with water. You can mix it with a little bit of apple cider vinegar. You can get creative. If you have drier skin, then you can use yogurt, you can use milk, you can use any kind of cream, or if you have normal skin and you just need to refresh your skin, then you could just use that water, apple cider vinegar. You can put some lemon in there. You can use aloe. Aloe is always really good to add to your face mask. So those are just some tips that I wanted to give as far as using clay. Super simple. When it comes to using a face mask, all you do is just mix this with water. Basically, you can add whatever you want, but basically you're gonna mix it with a little bit of water, enough to make it into a paste. Put it on your face and then let it sit there for about 15 minutes or as long as your face can bear, pretty much, before it starts getting itchy. Once it gets dry, it's good. All of the work has been done and you can wipe it off and then you'll be fresh faced. So thank you for joining me for another episode of Urban Eden After Hours. Peace.